Hey y'all, what's going on? So I am back with my recap and review for both season 3, episode 11 and episode 10 and 11. I am only going to go over highlights for episode 10 because it wasn't honestly too much that we really need to go in great detail about, but I just wanted to annotate a couple things. First one being Letitia and her mom sit down to kind of just talk about the state of Letitia's marriage, if you even want to call it that, to be honest. It just shows us that Letitia definitely did not take after her mom. Her mom has been married a total of 6 times, and she's not currently married anymore, I believe. So that just shows us that, yeah, Letitia doesn't take after her mom, because her mom was like, she would have been left him. And I was like, can you speak that into your daughter? Because it's not clicking. It's not clicking. It is not freaking clicking, dog. But anyway, I digress. Josh and Latrice also talked during this episode. They were able to squash things, and going forward, they're going to they're going to go to each other, directly going forward. They're not going to go to this person or that person or Akeisha or whatever. They're going to go to each other if they have to air out any grievances. So whatever, if it works for them, then cool. But I took that as Josh is just like, yeah, you're just going to have to, I'm no longer going to try to, intervene and save you from yourself, because you are, you're always going to look at me like I am the enemy at the end of the day if I try to, quote unquote, come between you and your husband. So it is what it is. And the final scene is all of the, not all the couples, but Akeisha, Willie, freaking Shantae and JJ, Latrice and Cliff, like a triple surprise date that Akeisha orchestrated. And honestly, I just wanted to highlight this point, because this scene rather, because it really just gives us more back information into knowing that Selena and Shantae have always been able to coexist prior to the whole freaking wig launch melee or whatever. And Shantae is very much aware she has a smart mouth. And we also find out again from several, Akeisha went to school with Selena and she never took her for the type or whatever. And, in that moment, it seemed as though Latrice and Shantae were squashing the issue. They put it all out there, so to speak. And then when we roll into episode 11, Clifton Rogers' neighborhood, it's almost like she being Shantae chooses to retrogress any chance she gets. And I just can't vibe with people like that. I can't. It makes you look like a not a credible source. It really, really does, y'all. So honestly, again, there wasn't much with that episode, but I just wanted to make sure I made some of those points. As far as episode 11, we begin with Shantae and Dee sitting down to, I guess, catch up. And honestly, it just, I just don't get it. I don't get it. All I see in Shantae is someone who is fixated on themselves or their marriage or whatever, and doesn't, I'm not trying to pick sides here, but it's apparent that she's not even focused on her own child, let alone, her stepkids. And you could tell that by the things Dee is saying. She's trying to pop her ish and, keep her distance from her step siblings and everything. But at the same time, it's giving your mom isn't fully supportive of you either, though. So that could only leave us as viewers to think that she would rather be fixated on JJ. Like it really is giving that, everything that Sanjay, was saying and stuff. It really does give some credibility to that. I can totally see that. I really, really, really can, especially when it gets to the point of Dee saying, she's having, I guess, some body image issues, or whatever. She's trying to adjust to motherhood. I just don't. Shantae doesn't give me, I'm being the supportive mother, grandmother figure that I should be. She don't give me that. She really freaking doesn't. So yeah, when Sanjay's on Twitter saying what she's saying, which is, no, which is, she thinks that someone's jealous of them or whatever. No one's jealous of them. Like, I can totally see Shantae being that type of person. And furthermore, Selena's always been present. So if you want to press charges on folks, I feel as though you were just as much at fault. I do, because you walked up on her like you was about to get it started or whatever, and her being Selena. I can't deal with it. I can't. So anyway, y'all. Shantae, she says that she's handling things as a lady would. And I'm like, no, you're handling things as somebody who's trying to bring discredit upon somebody else over something that doesn't even matter, over something that is insignificant and that is childish. That's how I really view it, but whatever. Moving right along. Oh, also Dee and her baby daddy are taking a break right now. And again, she doesn't give that she even really cares about what's going on in her own daughter's life. Seriously. So Akeisha invites Latrice to paint at the place that they were supposed to do the whole paint thing, a couple episodes ago. And she wants Latrice to know that she's, there for her. If she needs anyone to talk to, she needs an outlet or whatever, the same things, because she's seeing the same things that we're seeing as viewers, that he's not someone you should be with. Like, your husband is not somebody who should be your husband, and she just wants to lend that type of support to her. And I really, really appreciate the role that Akeisha is playing this season. She's honestly my favorite. I would love to do an interview with her. Hopefully I can make that happen. If you're listening, Akeisha, I'd love to interview with you. And I say that because, Latrice's situation, it screams at you without you even looking at it too closely. It does, y'all. You can't tell me I'm lying. And she's still living in a land of disillusions, because I picked up on when she was like, oh yeah, and you what did she say? I think I wrote it down. She had the nerve to say, the same to you, honey. Like, and I'm like, no, the same not to you. Like, what could you offer? And it's not to say that anybody's marriage is perfect, but at the same time, clearly Akeisha and Willie are doing a whole hell of a lot better than you and Mr. Clifton Rogers, honey. That's the real tea, and she don't need to talk to you. And by you even saying that back in response tells me that you didn't really, you didn't receive what she was putting out there. You didn't at all. And moving right along though, because I can't even stay stuck on her for too long, because it literally is infuriating. Then we see Letitia meeting up with Shantae. They walk and talk, because I feel like Letitia's on this fake health journey. I say fake because she came in there with I guess it was a sugary smoothie, and every time we see her, she's freaking not trying to really put in no work for real. So it's giving, you're just doing this for the show, like everything else. She being Shantae tells Letitia about the give back that her and JJ do every year. She wants Letitia to, of course, participate in it. And she's, not sure if the girls are going to show up. And she also lets us know that Selena's usually there. And this is also something that I saw on Twitter, that, yeah, Selena's always usually there. So I don't, again, know why we're about to go back and forth like this. I wish I would have brought up the tweets, y'all. But anyway, I can't do the whole ignoring the truth in the situation, trying to play victim. I really can't stand that type of behavior, and that's all Shantae seems to be giving us as of late. She's still trying to say that Latrice orchestrated stuff, which, like I just said in the last episode, it seemed to be, I thought everybody was moving forward, right? Well, that's what we were left with, right? But no, she's still trying to push this whole narrative that Latrice orchestrated something. And I'm telling you right now, Latrice is guilty of a lot of things. Guilty for loving a man that she shouldn't. Guilty for stigmatizing a man that she shouldn't. Guilty for being naive. But she is not guilty for, in my opinion, orchestrating any type of chaos to occur between Shantae and Selena at her wig launch party. And I'd really appreciate it if we being Shantae, stop saying that. I can't. So somehow from that whole thing, Letitia thinks that she needs to be a peacemaker yet again between Latrice and, I guess, the collective, or kind of she needs to now intervene and see if she can get through to her. And I'm like, no, we should have just kept it at Akeisha, please. And I just can't. Then we see Latrice meeting up with Cliff, the coon, for a date night, I guess. And she lets him know that she just recently signed a contract for the national distribution of her edge control. So she's super excited about that. And instead of this fool being excited for his wife, he starts to basically berate and belittle her and say how she didn't, check in with him first or consult him first before making a business decision for her business. Her business, y'all. Once again, her business. Her business. So last time I checked, you don't check in with her with everything. Last time I checked, Cliff, do you have a business degree? Do you know, like, why you want to be her authority figure instead of her husband? And again, Latrice is better than me, because in this, I would have probably flipped the whole table on him. Swear to God. Whole table. Swear to God. And I don't even do that. But in this situation, I just couldn't. I couldn't with her. And she tries to, sound like she's bossing up on him in the confessionals, but I doubt it, because in the end, she's left crying because he can't even be simply happy for her. Like, you run it by me first. Like, what? Huh? You need to have all the seats in the stadium, sir. All of them. Anyway, Letitia is being interviewed by the WJ I think it was WJJ TV news about her upcoming brunch. You know, she loves to throw a brunch. And then Marie pops in, and Letitia wants to speak to her about being on the panel. This brunch is going to be kind of different, I guess, than, you know, Letitia's previous brunches. She's kind of wanting to do it a little differently and have panelists. And I think that's cool, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. However, Marie takes the time to not only like decline the offer, but make it about Latrice and how, you know, they can't be on one accord professionally because the personal issues bleed over into how they're trying to navigate the professional stuff. And I'm like, Marie, you do realize that every single time we see you, if you're not talking about your mom and her addiction, you're talking about Latrice and how no one should trust her and how she's a snake and how she ain't ish. You do realize that, right? You do, right? Like, you do realize that. And I think also Marie was trying to say, you know, her main thing was that Letitia won't come clean about Latrice and her behavior. And instead of Letitia, I feel like squashing it, because I feel like I would have just been like, you know what, screw you, I don't even want you on panel at that point. She starts crying and, you know, basically apologizes. And at that point, then Marie's like, okay, yeah, I'll agree to be a panelist then. And I'm just like, what? Like, why do you want, why do we need to continue to revisit this age-old beef between you and Latrice, aka the same person that you were like slapping butts and doing whatever with like just one episode ago? It's either you guys are gonna be cool or you're not. You're gonna be able to coexist or you're not. You're gonna be able to be in business settings or you're not. But it's tired and it's old and I'm over it, and I do not want to see it being carried into the next season. I'm telling you right now, otherwise I will not be up here talking about it. I'm sorry. It's old and it's stale and it's dried up. It's like, come on now. Well, they hug it out and I guess they're good. So whatever. Latrice is staying with her brother ever since the other night when, you know, Cliff walked out, and they had that whole disaster of a date night. They need to just stop. Well, they need to stop everything, obviously, at this point. But they really need to stop date nights, because every single time either of them attempts to do that, like, it just doesn't go well at all. At all. So her mom stops by. We like Latrice's mom because Latrice's mom seems to have more sense than Latrice. And my whole thing is, Latrice, no, the issue didn't lie with you calling him Zaddy. The issue lied with you allowing him to play some dictator role in your life. That's where the problem lied. And furthermore, anybody, just because you call somebody something doesn't mean like that the issue already existed within him as a person himself. He is flawed as a person. So whether you've called him zaddy or not, like, I am 100% certain his actions would still be the same as they are right now. I'm telling y'all right now. So no, that's not the root of the issue, ma'am. And, you know, she's trying to say now she wants a husband and not a zaddy. No, you should have wanted a husband the whole time. I assume that's what you wanted the whole time. And it was just all fun and games until it wasn't anymore. And until people started looking at you guys crazy. I see where he's trying. Well, I don't. Do y'all? Do you guys see where Cliff is trying? Because I don't. But shout out to the mama for saying, you know, if he was her husband, she'd F him up, because that's a lot of how we feel too, Ma. That is a lot of how we also feel. I think at this point, this is like not even the first time that she's done this, where she's stayed somewhere else or momentarily moved into another room or whatever. It's giving, like, if he hasn't clued in by now, like, no, you need to just get up and completely move away from him. These little I'm gonna give him his, I'm gonna show him who's boss. I'm gonna go stay with my brother. I'm gonna go stay over here. I'm gonna go gain my independence back. Like, it's all a facade. You don't even believe that. You just want to keep giving him chances to show you the same person that he's been being all these years. Stop giving him opportunities. He's not going to change. There's no incentive for him to change. He's stuck in his ways, and he's going to continue to be the same person unless you leave his. Anyway, finally, it's the day of the community give back. They're giving away socks and toiletries. Tambra's there with her furor. Sanjay and Sky did actually wind up showing up in support of their dad. I say that because I did see the tweet that Sanjay retweeted, and it said, yeah, they showed up for their dad. And of course, Selena wasn't there, and they kept it cute for the cameras. The news station was there once again, and Shantae does, a quick little interview or whatever, but everything is given fake to me about her at this point. She can go. She can go. We didn't need her as an addition. Like, Akeisha being on the show now is completely fine with me, but I don't need another season of Shantae and her sham of the life. They got an STD mobile station. Like, they is in business. They are really doing the dang thing, y'all. And Letitia takes this as an opportunity to pull Latrice to the side to ask her, like, what's up with your marriage? Like, what's going on? Because there's clearly something deeper there. There's something deeper there. And Cliff shows this ugly side of him often, and we're clocking it, honey. We are clued in. We're concerned, and we see the public disrespect. So that leaves us with the question of, if he's doing this in public, what the F is he doing in private? The same thing we have been asking. And I can't wait until next week to see exactly what she says, because we're left again with a cliffhanger there. But all in all, y'all, this, I'm getting like a little like, okay, we can get to reunion now, because Marie, like I said, all you care about talking about is your mom's addiction and Latrice. Latrice, all you got going on is you being stuck to this man who is no good for you. Shantae, you like to lie and play victim. Letitia, you like to try to sell us sweet nothings when you know dang well that you're not leaving. Fake boozy. Tambra, not too much on Tambra right now, because honestly, she hasn't really given us too much in a couple episodes. Like, she hasn't been on the same level as everybody else that I just named, which are the top three in the center. The two on the sides, Akeisha's completely good in my book right now. Like, completely good. She's fine. I like the role that she's playing. I like her better, like, taking on this role on the cast. And Tambra, I don't need to scrutinize the things that she's done right or wrong right now, because everybody else's stuff is so glaringly apparent on Front Street. They give us so many reasons to jump on their back every week that I don't even need to add Tambra to the brunch. I don't. I don't. But y'all, I'm not here to talk you guys to death. But that was my recap and review for episodes 10 and 11 of Belle Collective. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. And do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.